Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Ew, 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 ew. I don't want it to touch me. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to The Witcher. We're on season 3, episode 2, which is called Unbound. So the last episode was the season premiere, and basically we got a little bit of a catch up of where our group, our new family, has gotten with Geralt and Ciri and Yennefer. We see that Yennefer was trying to train Ciri and get her to use her powers or get more control over her powers, but it wasn't going very well. All the elemental magic was kind of going above Ciri, and they kind of felt like they were running out of time because it felt like every time they settled someplace within a couple of weeks or months, hunters would track them down and they'd have to move somewhere else. And so we see that they finally met up with one of our dwarven friends somewhere in the wilderness, and they were able to stay there for quite some time to the point where they were really starting to settle into kind of a family routine. But then we see that, oh gosh, what was his name? Starts with an R. The Burned, the fire-using mage, he decided to employ a beast that can track elven blood. And once that happened, they found Ciri. And so they managed to kill the beast, but they realized that this fire mage is never going to stop chasing them. And the more creative he gets with ways to track them, the more places they're going to run out of places to hide, right? So basically, they came to a conclusion that they had to split up because Yennefer had come to a standstill as far as how much training she could continue to offer Ciri. And Geralt was like, we can't keep running with this fire mage after us. So they didn't want to, but they split up. Geralt off to find the fire mage, Yennefer and Ciri to go back to gosh, I forgot her name, but the woman who trained her, trained Yennefer in all the ways of her magic so that they can hopefully get Ciri up to speed so she can start to defend herself more since she is the target of all of these people trying to get her. Outside of that, we see that the elves were also trying to capture Ciri, but they're having their own internal problems because not everybody agrees with the Queen's leadership. They feel like they should be trying to find their own home and fight the humans and not just kind of stake everything on Ciri. And then finally, we saw that the king, I cannot remember the name of his kingdom, has sent his brother along with the lady who transforms into a bird to go and find Ciri, but they're hoping that they can use Jaskier, the bard, to either betray Geralt and kidnap Ciri, or if he can somehow get him to trade Ciri over to them, and then they're going to try to convince her that she'll be safe in the kingdom if she marries this king. So like I said, lots of moving parts, but we got a good lay of the land, and I'm really excited to jump into this episode and see who we're going to follow, if we're going to follow both people. And also, yes, I forgot, we also saw a quick brief view of Ciri's father. We know that he's still in the mix, and he burned everything that basically tied him back to his old life, but for his painting of Ciri. So I think that was our symbolism to know that his sole focus now is getting his daughter back. So yeah, a lot of things, all roads leading to Ciri here in one way or another. We'll have to see if our trio can get back together at some point, but I get a sneaking suspicion it's not going to happen for a while. So let's get into the episode. But just before I do, if it's your first time to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I do a lot of reactions here to all kinds of shows, and if you'd like to support me, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And if you like this video, I would like it a lot if you showed some love to it and put some comments below. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right about now. Damn. I don't know who those people are, but I feel for them.
Well, I'll leave him at the next post, under the name of Applegat.
Lame and overridden, no doubt.
Seems festive in these parts.
Hanging's good for business.
That's horrible.
Doing all the way out here. She should be focusing on keeping the royal peace, not swanning idly around the countryside.
Judgy?
You do know that they keep their beauty by bathing in human blood every night, huh?
Okay, is that what happens? Why is he so anti-witch?
Wishing you a safe journey.
Whoa. What the hell was that?
She was kicked in the head by a horse. Hasn't been right since. No. There was a tower. Arrow struck you. Remember when I said we need to keep a low profile? I cannot control my visions, Jennifer. You can control who you blab them to.
Right?
What if his death prevented a greater harm? What would the consequence be then, my ugly one?
Ooh.
But changing destiny is a weighty business.
Especially if you don't know why.
We're going shopping.
Can you dye her hair at least? God. Y'all looking exactly the same everywhere you go and you wonder why you're so easily trackable. But I agree, like, sis, you don't need to be blabbing visions to people. They're gonna think you're either crazy or the devil.
Fangs. Just like a boatload of fangs. All up in your business.
All up in my business?
Whoa! Is that a giant metal spike hidden in your secret door?
Are you happy to see
or are
me?
You just pleased with
I mean, I saw it coming from a mile away.
How did I know that would be you?
But you opened the door anyway.
Had that safety device replaced just now. Next time, make an appointment.
Okay, so it only attacks a living heart. Got it. Smart! Or a beating heart, I should say. Because it's not technically a living heart anymore.
You know, a sword like this won me an empire once.
Oh, did it?
I'd like to hear about it.
Late summer, 1260.
Not the music coming in.
Was to infiltrate the castle, kill everyone that stood between me and the man that's stolen my life.
A brave endeavour.
Right? Sounds perfect.
I traded my boots to a dwarf in return for a mahakam steel sword.
Sounds right.
A sword befitting the emperor of the continent.
The continent.
I'll drink to that.
It's ambitious. Almost as ambitious as that hairdo. Oh, how we fallen. Good, sis. Life could have been so different for you.
Drink.
Or what?
I said.
It's not poison.
Interesting. So that's the job she's been demoted to, hey?
As you already knew of my arrival, let's talk about my difficulties.
Why are you rolling up your sleeves, hottie?
Rience, we know, was kicked out of Banard.
That's what's our theory.
What theory?
That he's working for a sorcerer more powerful than him.
But y'all know, I saw that look. I saw that look.
I'm afraid that information will cost you a bit more, Geralt.
How much more? I don't have a job.
She'll throw this at my head. Should you hit, you win. Should you miss, you'll give me the information.
She's like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Seriously suggesting that I accept this wager?
Well, yes. Ooh. Whatever you ask, sir. How can you never want to do wagers where we get to make out?
It's doing illegal or dirty business. In
Dirty.
sorcerer's slang, it's described as having someone on a leash.
Whose leash?
We don't know.
I'm gonna do that and you don't even...
There is a castle called Volpan. It's near the old Scarlet.
Now in my mines.
Yeah.
On the outskirts of Piano.
You know that. You're already in.
Geralt has been around forever.
Let it lie.
I
Geralt.
can't.
Do give our best to the elder blood princess.
Now why'd you gotta go and say that? Now I gotta kill you both.
You have a client looking for her.
Answer very carefully.
You need to find another girl. An orphan of war, perhaps. Ashen hair, green eyes.
No.
Why would I sacrifice another person's life?
Proposition is a simple solution. Someone has to die, so someone else
Doesn't.
can live.
Yeah, Geralt of season 1 probably would have taken you up on that, but now...
I will not pay for what I love by having contempt for myself.
Ooh, bars. Bars.
Thank you.
But can we invest in some hair dye? Is like, could we not dye his hair? Just give him some brown hair.
Aren't you tired of being on the run all the time?
He's like, I don't know any other life at this point.
I travel alone card, or Yaskier, it's too dangerous card. I would like to remind you that I was just bait for Mr. Firefingers.
I appreciate it, yes.
I kind of like that. Firefingers. Why don't you tell him that you're safer traveling with him, considering that Redenia's people are still following you?
You may be watching me, but I have eyes too.
Oh.
What do you see? I ugly one. Most times, a picture of powerful perfection.
Thank you.
So there's more to the picture, isn't there?
That's what she just said. It's complicated.
At Aretusa, you can learn to focus your visions on the future you actually want to see. And what if I don't want to see anything?
Well, that's problematic. Oh, Lord. So much for a quick passage. What are you doing with the
Because this
boy?
one's got something waiting for them.
Oh my gosh, not another junkie.
Fancy a sniff, love?
Ew, no.
Von der Querfield.
Hold it open. I won't be long.
Run, run!
Great. Siri, you just couldn't let it be, huh? You're not understanding the whole thing about you being on the run.
You don't want to end up decapitated? I suggest you run too. Wait.
Yeah, see? That's what happens. Siri, I really do appreciate the big heart, but honey, you need to save yourself before you can save anyone else.
Chaos will kill you. Has anyone seen Nissa?
Nissa? No.
Last I checked, slinging matches are not how we conduct business here. We
Ooh.
will take all concerns to the full body of the council, as we always have. In the meantime, you are disrupting lessons.
She did not stutter. Get out of here. Losers.
Helping these girls learn what they're capable of.
It is a noble calling. I can't help but wonder if it's really about them.
Well, you know, I almost died and all. I don't know. She brings Siri here with people who want her gone. But I kind of want her there with that weirdo old man so she could blow his head up. What?
What did he do?
I tried to.
What is going on here?
And that was my first.
Well, I feel like this is a sex thing.
You always give me perspective. Clarity.
That's what it takes. Jesus.
I've never seen this continent more divided.
She
The
said.
Elflords not the only ones who know it's ripe for the taking, and if Radovid could be useful to us.
To redeem you.
Potato.
For me.
Look at you having a soft spot for your dominatrix bird. Literally in the black outfit. You kinky mofo.
I appreciate the information. I do, but I really want a song.
No, I'm.
You're gonna sing. You're gonna sing.
They'd love a song about your white-haired witcher.
All right.
Look at that. I don't trust him. He acts like a dummy, but he's not. And your song is probably gonna tell stuff that doesn't need to be told. What game are you playing, Yaskier?
It's probably a trap.
Probably. Why is Henry Cavill so fine? Why would they have paintings on the walls of a mine? And bars on the windows. Carol's like, I'm not even gonna wait to see what's behind there. I'm just gonna take this right now.
Definitely a trap.
Well, that might be a warning. This is why I couldn't be a witcher. I'm not walking into danger, bro.
I know you're angry.
I'm not angry. I'm disappointed.
Ooh, worse.
You sound like Geralt. He isn't always wrong.
Yeah, he's been around a minute.
And what I've got is a sense of justice, a dagger, and quick
But if you don't
reflexes.
live to make it to be queen, what will that...
You didn't see that child's eyes. I had to do what I did. You chose
Yep,
to interfere.
exactly.
Dominic Huvenagel will send his cousin Leo Bonhart here to recuperate his losses with money or with blood. The townspeople who do survive will be conscripted to fight against
Yep.
the war that's looming on the
Yep.
horizon, where they'll die on the battlefield.
Yep.
If disease or starvation doesn't claim them first.
Yup.
You saved one, and the consequences likely damned 100 others in exchange. What is the point in me seeing the future if I can't do anything to change it?
It's a good question, but honestly,
How would you know what it's like to fight for control of your life?
Siri, it's the way you assume you know everyone's business and you're 15 hours old.
My ugly one. We're taking a detour. Why do you call me that? Because I promised I'd be sincere with you from here forward.
Damn.
I want to show you who I really am.
Yeah, you need to learn. You're little. This is teenagers though. They think they know everyone. You know, they're like, oh, I'm 15, I'm 16, I know everything. You know nothing, Jon Snow. You know nothing. There's so much about the world and life that you just have to experience, no matter how much head knowledge you have. But I do get where Ciri's coming from. It sucks to see that people are going to get hurt and feel like you can do nothing about it.
Nilfgaardian scum. Get up.
Why did he have that vision?
My people were building civilizations while you blunt-eared bastards still thought thunder was the gods' passing wind. Fact is, Francesca Seneca is a girl from Sintra.
Oh God, wrong person to tell.
You've considered my proposal to take charge of the elves. Aye.
Interesting.
I don't get it. If he's a wise man, as you say, why the hell's he wasting God's given talent like yours?
Well, because I screwed up bad. He's still getting the better end of the stick than the black girl.
So your plan is to keep paying penance until you're killed by northern troops?
I don't know if it's necessarily a choice.
You are one of the finest soldiers I've ever fought beside. The white flame will see it.
Oh, here we go.
You will help him take the north, not Francesca.
So you're mocking Francesca's beliefs, but you're going to believe these guys talking about a white flame. You're just switching leashes. Like, who's holding the leash?
You're too bloody serious.
Right? Like, have a laugh. You're kind of in a really bad position.
If I ever get out of here, I'll play that game up smart.
I hope so.
Put him in a bag. The lads will help me throw him out.
Is that poison he drank or just drunk? Oh, she's plotting. I feel like this man is actually listening to the lyrics of his song so he can learn about Geralt. Because back in the day, bards actually told real history, so... That was deep. Everyone suitably depressed?
You cannot applaud me now, I feel like.
Are you sure you're enough? You need the applause?
Never.
He's such a cocky jerk.
Forgive me, I'm speechless. Blame the mood.
I would, except you're not drunk. It's all in the eyes.
Yeah, I see you.
When you have to keep your wits about you.
Mm-hmm. Like
When
what
a
you
fight
did
is
with the
there,
bird lady?
it's there as well.
You see people
He does.
what they are, not what they pretend to be. Well, that's part of it, at least.
Can't be a good storyteller if you can't see the characters.
And the rest.
This tension.
I don't know yet.
Thank you.
Look at you, Jaskier. Just charming everybody. He's a secret weapon, that one.
Does the Witcher know how lucky he is to have you?
A little. Not exactly high on the totem pole, but he's there. Anyways, what is the Witcher up to? He's been in this cave for 6 months. Sounds like a woman's voice. Women's voices? No, no, time to go. It's time to go. Don't want to die here. You're already gone, sis. Do you see what's going on with your head?
Are there any more like you here?
So many.
Is she the problem?
Stop, please.
I don't know if I trust any of these girls. Oh, yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Yuck. I don't think that girl's okay. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Ew, 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 ew. I don't want it to touch me. I told you I couldn't trust them. Is that all of their bodies? It is. How many fingers was that? What the hell? I don't trust that girl. This thing is so gross. Who imagined this? It's nasty. Here, I'll get your ass up. Why are there so many, so many hands? Seriously, it's like the worst grope of your life. Stop it. This is not consensual. Would it have been easier to cut them? Like the heads? That's disgusting. So gross. Where'd the girl go? She looks like she could be a Siri dupe, but I don't trust it. Are you in there, sis? Smart, but you're chained up, though. I will give this to her. She is very hardy. She don't give up easy. But truthfully, she's on my poop list.
She seems to think those old farts, Codrunner and Fen, might have some info about Rien's.
And?
Perhaps I need to pay those old farts a visit too.
Yeah, Skier, I really hope you didn't get that couple in trouble.
Like this. Hold still, I say.
Wow.
You don't seem to be enjoying my brother's epic tales of daring do.
I've heard this tale before.
Every time he's drunk.
Philippa seems to think that you might have more wit than meets the eye.
Oh, thanks. That backhanded compliment.
You seem to be witless.
Casimir has no secrets from me.
You sure?
Then you do know about his meeting last night. With Nilfgaard.
Wow. His brother is spinning circles around you. See, birth order doesn't necessarily mean you got a good monarch.
Have you had a visitor? We have not.
You know who I mean. The witch was here. I still smell the stench. Do you tell him? What do you know about his plans?
Sir, is this your first rodeo? No, what? The cat didn't do anything.
Please, not the cat.
Come everything.
And I'm like, I knew they were going to do that anyway. I mean, I guess thank you for saving the cat. Did she just follow him? Oh, yeah, Skier. You just signed their death warrants.
We need to get the Northern Kings to listen to us and work together, and the last thing they want to see is the woman who set their execution party ablaze.
So what you gonna do?
If Yennefer can let go of the past, so can I.
We'll see. I don't really trust you. Still haven't since last season.
Stones are rumored to have protective abilities.
You could just tell me you were thinking of me.
I think that bracelet is more than that, sis. I feel like it's tracking you. Or something worse. Pretty awesome meadow. Love the trees. Why are we here?
This is where I grew up.
Ooh, green screen. You need to see what I used to look like.
Get out of there, girl.
I can do it.
How much for a pig? How much for this beast? You do not have a choice.
Yeah, you see? You don't know everything.
Like you, I once chose to interfere.
Mm-hmm.
I set a prisoner free. And in doing so, I set the entire North against the Brotherhood. Those bodies hanging at the tavern.
Yep.
The whole continent is paying the consequences.
Consequences.
We must learn to control it. That is the essence of power.
We're not just talking about actually using your magic. Do you understand now?
Come on.
It's not that we don't want to help people, but you just gotta look at the fact that there are repercussions. Actions have consequences. But I think she needed to see that. I'm hoping it'll actually go through. But I get it. She's a child. She couldn't have possibly known. Sadly, one of the hardest parts of growing up is learning how much your decisions can have ripple effects. You took this girl with you, Geralt? I don't know. I know she reminds you of Ciri, but... Oh. The way they said it's too late, go? What does that mean? She already turning into one of those things?
Hello.
Nah.
You're out of that place now. You're safe.
I one for me.
And how would you know that?
Right?
We're tied by destiny.
What?
Who are you?
Yeah.
Don't be silly, Geralt. I'm Siri.
So did this girl get brainwashed? And you end the episode there. Okay, sure. Sure. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that was episode 2 of season 3 of The Witcher. Wow, a lot went down in there. We've got a lot of moving pieces now with everybody in their separate corners. Geralt, of course, trying to figure out or follow the lead that he found from the two, I guess you could say, historians who are no longer with us. But anyhow, he at least now knows that Rience, that was the name, I know it was an R name. I'm like, Rience and Redenia. There was 2 R's. I just could not remember the beginning of this video. But anyways, he knew that Rience was definitely being puppeted by a more powerful sorcerer, but he needed confirmation, which he got from them. But of course, they said, we don't know who it is, which I didn't believe for a second, because the look that they gave each other when Geralt mentioned the name, I knew that they knew. But anyways, I understand that they were very much trying to play this neutral party, which when you sell information for money, you really can't be that. I hate to say it. That is the downside. That is the scary thing about being a broker of information. You can't really be neutral, because if people figure out that you're giving information to both sides, especially when there's political issues or something of that nature, you're going to be forced to pick a side, or you're going to be taken out by both sides. So anyway, we see that Geralt decides to go. Jaskier asks to come with him, which I believe he was really asking because he doesn't want to have to keep working. Well, maybe not. It's hard to say. I'm not sure what Jaskier is up to right now, honestly, guys. Like, I don't think he would genuinely turn on Geralt, but we also know that he doesn't really fully trust Geralt either, which I understand, because while he knows that Geralt cares about him to some extent, he's also made it pretty clear that he's not a priority for him, right? Like in the hierarchy of people that Geralt actually cares about, it's like Ciri, Yennefer, Geralt, right? Like that's literally it. And then Jaskier would probably come after that. So I always wonder if Jaskier kind of is like, I don't know, I can't trust Geralt, like he will sacrifice me. Maybe I got to look out for myself. Maybe he is actually trying to protect Ciri. I mean, he's also seeing all the stuff that's going on. Like we saw last season that he's got a real soft spot for the elves, and he really wants to see peace happen, right? He really just wants everything to kind of get to a place where everyone is safe and sound, and there's not war and chaos all the time. And maybe he's thinking that, hey, maybe if we just give up Ciri, this will end, like this will stop. We no longer have to worry about this. But it's really not that simple. And yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like I said, I'm curious about Jaskier, because we don't really get a lot of insight into his thoughts often, unless he's talking directly to Geralt. So I don't know. At this point, I'm gonna try to believe that he's trying to play a game here where he's keeping these more political enemies at bay while he's trying to also protect Geralt and Ciri the best way he knows how, but also try to protect himself. I don't know. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm still, the jury's out on Jaskier here, but I do know that he does care about Ciri. I know that he wouldn't necessarily try to hurt her directly. So I got to think that he's just trying to play a game here where he's trying to use more of the finesse that he has and the people skills that Geralt lacks to kind of get to a different objective. And that might actually be working for him, because what is going on between him and the king's brother? Because there is some tension going on there. I'm trying to figure out what kind of tension is going on there, because I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know. Jaskier, we've seen that he is definitely a ladies' man, but maybe he's just everybody's man. You know, I'm not sure, but there is something going on there. There's something going on, and I don't know where the tension's coming from or what it's about, but it's definitely there. And the brother of the king, he's very interested in Jaskier, and as I said, I think he is somewhat trying to sift through what Jaskier knows. Like, it's kind of one of those real, recognize and real situation. You know, like how Jaskier is like, I know you're not drunk, so don't play me. And then the guy's like, yeah, and I also feel like there's more going on with you, and I'm trying to figure that out about you. So I feel like they're very similar, and that could be a little bit of what's going on with that tension of them both knowing that they're playing a game, and both of them trying to get the better of the other before the other one does. You know, like which one of us is going to figure out each other's game first? I think there's a little bit of that going on. And like I said, I think that the reason he wants Jaskier to sing is because obviously bards sing songs about their life experiences or things that they know or historical tales. Like that's how they typically used to work in this type of world. So I think that he is trying to figure out through Jaskier's songs more about Geralt and possibly a weak spot he might be able to exploit that might be in one of the songs. Like, that's the only thing I'm thinking of, because he was really focusing on Yeskir when he was singing, and I don't think it was just on Yeskir himself. I think he was really listening to the songs. But anyway, very interesting little situation going on there. We'll see how that evolves throughout the season. Outside of that, we had what looks like Ciri. She's getting these visions. We saw her only get them here and there in the first couple of seasons, but now they're becoming apparently quite frequent. She can just look at someone and they're popping up. We heard Yennefer say that she thinks it's all the training that they were doing with the other types of magic. She thinks that while her elemental magic is still taking its time, apparently her other abilities like these visions are starting to become more frequent because of it. And we're seeing that Ciri is really struggling with seeing the future or the potential future and not doing anything to stop it. She really just wants to do good. Like we saw in the last episode, her resolve to bring the whole continent together, to stop the war, to get everybody to, hold hands and sing Kumbaya. And look, I really do appreciate where she's coming from. And like, that is the thinking and the energy that we need for this next generation. However, she's too young to understand that the reason why these things are not as easy is just one monarch coming up and saying, hey, everyone, let's just shake hands. There's so much animosity. There's historical stuff that happens there. You've got older people who've been through some stuff, who've hold on to their old belief systems, hold on to their prejudices. They've been through a lot of traumas. Those traumas can hold them back. So it's a big, messy deal. And like I said, Ciri being just a teenager, she can't possibly understand that because she hasn't experienced enough of life to understand that it's not as simple as that. Like, it would be wonderful if it was, but when it comes to human interactions and people and politics, it's just never as as black and white as people think it is or want it to be. It's very gray. It's very murky. And anyways, we see that she interfered with the future, or what she thought was the future of this little boy. Obviously, it didn't look good. But in her doing so, it apparently just caused a lot more trouble, which of course she didn't get to stick around and see. But Yennefer had to basically explain to her that, like, I keep telling you we need to keep a low profile and you need to stop drawing attention to us. But beyond that, you can't interfere with every future that you see that you don't think is right, because you don't know what that future, like what's going to go beyond that. You're only seeing a piece of the picture. And of course, Ciri asks a really good question around like, well, why do I have these powers if I'm not supposed to do anything about it? And that's a really good question. Like, what do you do when you see these futures that are horrible? Are you supposed to just ignore it? Does that make her a bad person if she could see that it's going to happen and does nothing to stop it? But Yennefer countered, well, earlier than that, she said, you don't know that by stopping this man's death that you're not actually preventing or you're allowing potentially an even greater evil to happen. Like, maybe this man is supposed to die, right? Maybe there's a reason he's supposed to go out. And so I think what the hard thing is with this whole ability to see the future is that I agree with Ciri in that, like, knowing certain things are going to happen and being able to stop them or change them it seems like it's a waste of a power. But also I think it's more that she needs to learn when it makes sense to interfere with something. Like, when does it make sense to possibly try and change the way things are supposed to go, right? And that's where the seeing of the bigger picture is important, because Yennefer, she's lived for hundreds of years. She now has the depth of perspective to be able to say, listen, I know now that you have to look at a lot of different pieces before you make a decision, especially if you have the gift of foresight, I should say, right? Because now you can say, okay, this is supposed to happen. Let's think about all these different things, the other factors that might be involved. Let me find out from here, find out from there. Let me see if I can put some pieces together to form this picture around this one little piece that you're seeing, Ciri, and then we can maybe see if this is the right move. But right now, Ciri's just looking at that one piece, that one little, like, think of it as like trying to see the whole world through a peephole in a door, right? You're going to see a little bit of what's going on, but there's a whole world of periphery around you that you're missing. And that's where Ciri's not getting it, that she's only looking through the pinhole right now, and she's not seeing that there's a bigger canvas that she's affecting potentially by interfering. But I completely understand where she's coming from. Like, I don't want Ciri to lose her moral compass, and I think that that's what Yennefer is trying to also preserve. But she needs Ciri to start understanding that she can't just always jump in because she sees something that she thinks shouldn't happen. Because even beyond the ripple effect too, like, this person, she could get involved with someone who actually is stronger than she is. Like, she's got a lot of magic, she's got a lot of power, but there's other people out there who are quicker than she is, who are faster with a blade. She's not invincible. So she's got to, like, get to the point of being queen. She actually has to live long enough to be queen to make these changes that she wants. And that's that percentage of possibility gets smaller every time she intervenes willy-nilly the way she is right now. But yeah, I'm trying not to go too hard on her, and I think Yennefer's trying to as well, because she is young. This is just a part of growing up, and Ciri's just a typical teenager, except that she has powers that are crazy powerful. So I really like that Yennefer took her and let her see into her past and gave Ciri a little bit more perspective to show her that even what she thought about Yennefer wasn't correct, right? Her saying, oh, you're just beautiful perfection. You're deadly. Life's always been easy. You have no idea how hard it is to have life where you're not in control of your own life. And yeah, Yennefer's got to be like, Yennefer's like, hold my beer. Hold my beer. You want to talk to me about not having agency, sis. Let me tell you about my past, okay? But again, her explaining it versus Ciri actually being able to see it, much different. And I'm hoping that it made an impact on Ciri for her to understand where Yennefer and Geralt are coming from. Like I said, she still has to do her own thing. She still has to make decisions that she feels she can live with. But at least now, hopefully, she'll start to think about a little bit more of why she needs to just take a step back sometimes and maybe not act so impetuously. So yeah, that was a really good little lesson, little moment between her and Yennefer. And we're seeing that they are heading to Aretuza. It looks like they were trying to, I think she's trying to avoid using her own portals, which is interesting. I'm assuming that's because they're traceable, but I'm not sure. And what else did we have in this episode? Just a little bit of stuff at Aretuza. Obviously, Tisea, they're still dealing with all these political issues. The fact that the mages are realizing that all these countries or all these territories are just fighting against one another, becoming paranoid. They're just, no one trusts each other. No one trusts the mages anymore. And it's just becoming a mess. And Nilfgaard, of course, is coming from the south and just devouring all these broken nations. And so they're just kind of figuring out, like, what can we do to, like, get everyone in the north back on board so that we're not going to just be wiped out by Nilfgaard one by one. But the only answer really is to give up Ciri, right? Because Ciri is what apparently all the nations agreed needed to be taken out of the equation to solve this whole problem. But I'm hoping to say I can help them in some way and that it's going to be legit, because there's just already so many guns pointed at these kids. There's so many things pointed at Ciri and Yennefer right now. I'm really hoping to say it does not become another person who is pointing something at them, and she just can either find a way to help them or point them in the right direction and get the help they need. And then we saw at the end this creepy part here where Geralt goes to that mine. He sees that weird ass creature that I'm just going to haunt my nightmares. And then we see this girl who looks a lot like Ciri, the hair, the face, the eyes, but obviously it's not her. And we see that these headed creatures were saying something like, it's too late. Don't let him. So when she said, don't let him kill us, don't let him get us, at first, I thought the heads were talking about Rience or whoever that Geralt assumed was keeping this layer alive. But maybe they were talking about Geralt? Like, they knew that Geralt was going to destroy them? Because clearly their bodies were somehow tied to their heads. Whatever. That was so creepy. Anyway, but then we see this girl who was inside of what looked like a cocoon. So what was going on in there? Right? Was she just hiding in there? Was that someplace just to keep her from running away? Or was there a metamorphosis going on? Or is she a clone? I have so many questions because she says that she's Ciri, right? And she's talking like she's got memories of this man. So I feel like there's some weird voodoo magic stuff going on with this girl. Maybe there's some kind of like I said, maybe something about Ciri, like, could she be a clone? But no, if she was a clone, she looked exactly like Ciri. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, but something's going on with this girl because she's convinced that she's Ciri. And again, it seems like I said, she recognized Geralt. So there's something going on here. What was going on in that cocoon? Was that actually Rience's place, or was it the mage that's running things, right? So many questions there. Yeah, great episode as usual. Lots of information. I feel like I'm probably going to have to rewatch it again just so I can see if I missed anything. But it was great. And of course, I feel like it flew by. I'm ready for the next one already, but I'm going to have to wait until next time. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please give a thumbs up to this video and we will see you in the next one.